The Vietnamese Patriot. Ho Chi Minh stands as a towering figure in Vietnam's history. He is revered as the father of modern Vietnam. Born Nguyen Sinh Cuong in 1890, he would later adopt the name Ho Chi Minh, meaning he who enlightens. This name reflected his lifelong dedication to liberating his people from colonial rule. Ho Chi Minh led a life of extraordinary struggle and sacrifice. He dedicated himself to achieving independence for Vietnam. His unwavering commitment to this goal made him a symbol of national unity and resistance. Ho Chi Minh's life and legacy continue to inspire people around the world. He is remembered as a champion of the oppressed and a visionary leader. His story is one of resilience, determination, and the enduring power of national identity. Ho Chi Minh was born in Nha An Province, a region known for its strong sense of patriotism. This area, with its lush landscapes and resilient people, has long been a cradle of Vietnamese culture and resistance. His father was a scholar official, which exposed him to both Confucian traditions and anti-colonial sentiments. Growing up in a household that valued education and social justice, young Ho Chi Minh was immersed in the rich tapestry of Vietnamese intellectual and cultural life. Witnessing French colonial oppression firsthand deeply impacted the young Ho Chi Minh. The sight of foreign soldiers patrolling his homeland and the harsh realities of colonial rule left an indelible mark on his psyche. He saw the injustices faced by his people under foreign rule. The exploitation of Vietnamese labor, the heavy taxation, and the cultural suppression were daily reminders of the need for change. This fueled his desire for a free and independent Vietnam. The dream of liberation became a burning passion, driving him to seek ways to challenge the colonial powers. His family instilled in him a strong sense of social justice. They taught him the importance of standing up for what is right and the value of community and solidarity. This would later guide his revolutionary path. The lessons learned at home became the foundation of his lifelong commitment to his country's freedom. Ho Chi Minh's education played a crucial role in shaping his worldview. His early schooling provided him with a deep understanding of Vietnamese history and culture. He attended the French-run Lycée Quốc in Ho. This prestigious institution was a melting pot of ideas, where Vietnamese students were exposed to both colonial propaganda and revolutionary thoughts. This exposed him to Western ideas of liberty and self-determination. The works of Rousseau, Voltaire, and other Enlightenment thinkers opened his eyes to new possibilities for his nation's future. However, he also experienced the discriminatory policies of the colonial education system. The blatant favoritism towards French students and the marginalization of Vietnamese pupils highlighted the systemic inequalities. This fueled his growing belief that Vietnam's future lay in charting its own course. He became increasingly convinced that true independence could only be achieved through self-determination and unity. By his late teens, Ho Chi Minh had already begun to engage in anti-colonial activities. He was not just a passive observer, but an active participant in the struggle for freedom. He participated in student protests and distributed nationalist pamphlets. These early acts of defiance were the first steps in a long journey towards national liberation. His early experiences ignited a passion for justice and freedom that would guide his entire life. The seed of nationalism planted in his youth would grow into a powerful movement that changed the course of Vietnamese history. In 1911, a young man named Ho Chi Minh embarked on a journey that would change the course of history. Leaving behind his homeland of Vietnam, he set out to see the world and find ways to liberate his country from colonial rule. Determined and driven by a deep sense of patriotism, he sought to understand the mechanisms of colonialism and to find allies who could help him in his quest for Vietnam's independence. Traveling under the alias Ba, Ho Chi Minh navigated through various countries, each stop adding to his growing knowledge and experience. Using different aliases to conceal his identity, he journeyed across Europe, Africa, and America. Each continent offered him new insights into the struggles of oppressed peoples and the nature of colonial power. Witnessing the harsh realities of colonialism firsthand, especially in Africa, deepened his resolve. He saw the exploitation and suffering caused by European colonial powers and became more determined to fight for his homeland's freedom. To support himself, Ho Chi Minh took on various menial jobs. Whether working in kitchens, on ships, or in factories, he used these opportunities to observe different political systems and ideologies. Each job was a stepping stone in his education as a revolutionary. Among the many ideologies he encountered, he was particularly drawn to the ideas of Lenin and the Bolsheviks. The Bolshevik Revolution of 1917, which saw the overthrow of the Russian monarchy and the rise of a communist state, had a profound impact on him. In 1919, Ho Chi Minh arrived in Paris, a city that was a hub of political activity and intellectual discourse. Paris was teeming with ideas and movements that challenged the status quo, making it the perfect place for a budding revolutionary. In Paris, he joined the French Socialist Party, hoping to leverage their influence and resources to support Vietnam's struggle for independence. The party was a melting pot of ideas and provided him with a platform to voice his aspirations for his homeland. Through the French Socialist Party, Ho Chi Minh connected with other revolutionaries and intellectuals who shared his vision. He believed that by aligning with international socialist movements, he could garner support for Vietnam's independence. He became increasingly active in leftist circles, writing articles and giving speeches that advocated for decolonization. His writings were passionate and persuasive, capturing the attention of many who were sympathetic to the cause of oppressed nations. His experiences in Paris were transformative. They exposed him to the complexities of international politics and solidified his communist beliefs. He engaged in numerous discussions and debates, honing his ideas and strategies for the liberation of Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh argued passionately that the Vietnamese people had the right to self-determination. He believed that only through independence could Vietnam achieve true social and economic progress. His activism in Paris marked the beginning of his transformation into an internationally recognized figure in the fight against colonialism. His efforts laid the groundwork for future movements and inspired countless others to join the struggle for freedom and justice. Section 4. Founding the Viet Minh, a unified front for independence. In 1930, Ho Chi Minh founded the Vietnamese Communist Party in Hong Kong. This marked a turning point in Vietnam's struggle for independence. The VCP, later known as the Viet Minh, aimed to unite Vietnamese from all walks of life under the banner of national liberation. Ho Chi Minh believed that only through a united front could Vietnam break free from colonial rule. The Viet Minh gained widespread support, particularly among peasants and workers who had suffered under French exploitation. Ho Chi Minh's leadership was crucial in mobilizing the Vietnamese people. He possessed a unique ability to connect with ordinary people. His charisma and dedication to their cause inspired immense loyalty and sacrifice. Under his guidance, the Viet Minh established guerrilla bases in remote areas of Vietnam. They prepared for the long and arduous struggle for independence that lay ahead. Ho Chi Minh's vision of a free and independent Vietnam had begun to take shape. Section 5. The August Revolution and the Declaration of Independence. World War II presented a unique opportunity for the Viet Minh. The global conflict had weakened colonial powers, creating a power vacuum in many regions, including Vietnam. The Viet Minh, a revolutionary group led by Ho Chi Minh, saw this as a chance to push for Vietnamese independence. With France occupied by Nazi Germany, the Viet Minh, supported by the United States, launched a general uprising in August 1945. The French colonial administration, already weakened by the war in Europe, struggled to maintain control over its territories in Indochina. This provided the perfect backdrop for the Viet Minh to mobilize and gain support from the Vietnamese population. This became known as the August Revolution. The revolution was not just a spontaneous event, but the result of years of planning and organization by the Viet Minh. They had been building a network of supporters and fighters, ready to strike when the moment was right. The revolution swiftly gained momentum, and on September 2, 1945, Ho Chi Minh declared Vietnam's independence in Hanoi's Broadened Square. This historic event was attended by thousands of Vietnamese who had long yearned for freedom from colonial rule. He read aloud the Declaration of Independence, which proclaimed Vietnam's right to self-determination and condemned the injustices of colonialism. The declaration drew inspiration from the American Declaration of Independence and the French Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, emphasizing universal principles of freedom and equality. The declaration resonated deeply with the Vietnamese people. It was a powerful statement that not only rejected colonial rule, but also called for a new era of self-governance and national pride. The crowd in Ba Dinh Square erupted in cheers, their faces filled with hope and determination. It marked the end of nearly a century of French rule and the birth of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. This new republic was founded on the principles of independence, freedom, and happiness, as stated in the declaration. The Vietnamese people were ready to build a new nation, free from foreign domination. Ho Chi Minh's words echoed throughout the nation, igniting hope and pride in the hearts of millions. His leadership and vision for an independent Vietnam inspired countless individuals to join the cause and work towards a brighter future for their country. The August Revolution and the Declaration of Independence were pivotal moments in Vietnamese history. They represented the culmination of decades of struggle against colonial oppression and the beginning of a new chapter in Vietnam's journey towards self-determination and sovereignty. They established Ho Chi Minh as the undisputed leader of the newly independent nation and set the stage for the challenges that lay ahead. The road to true independence was fraught with difficulties, including internal conflicts and external pressures. But the spirit of the August Revolution continued to inspire the Vietnamese people in their quest for a free and united nation.